Close your eyes and imagine a clear night sky glittering above the ancient city of Marrakesh, Morocco. A gentle breeze carries the faint scent of orange blossoms through narrow alleyways and across sun-baked rooftops. In a small, lantern-lit room, Amina lies beneath a soft, embroidered blanket. She is 9 years old, with curious dark eyes and a heart full of questions. Tonight, like every other night, she waits for her grandmother's voice to whisk her away on a journey of dreams and discovery. Her grandmother, Mama Zara, settles onto the edge of the low wooden bed. In the dim glow of a brass lantern, her silver hair gleams like moonlight, and her eyes sparkle with the wisdom of countless stories. "Are you ready, my dear Amina?" she whispers, smoothing the edge of the blanket over the child's shoulder. Amina nods, clutching her small pillow. "I'm ready." Mama Zara's voice softens as she begins. Long ago, beyond the rolling dunes of the Sahara, there lived a spirited boy named Karim. Karim was 12 years old and came from a tiny village in southern Morocco. Though his hands were small, his dreams were vast. He wished to touch the stars themselves. Every night, he climbed the dunes to watch the sky, wondering if his dreams were too big for someone so young. As the story unfolds, Amina pictures Karim's village, clay houses painted in warm ochre, camels resting under date palms, and a sky so wide it seemed to hold all the secrets of the universe. She imagines herself walking alongside Karim, sand soft beneath her bare feet. Karim's journey was not easy, continues Mama Zara. One evening, as he reached the top of the tallest dune, a fierce wind swept across the desert, scattering his small satchel of drawings, sketches of stars, rockets, and planets. He ran after them, but the wind was stronger than he had ever known. Discouraged, he sank to his knees and stared at the empty horizon. "Perhaps I am too weak," he whispered to the night. Amina's heart aches for Karim's disappointment. She, too, has felt moments when her dreams seemed out of reach, learning new English words, mastering a tricky song on her old violin, or braving her first stage performance. Mama Zara's voice grows tender. At that moment, an old fox appeared beside Karim. Its fur was the color of dusk, and its eyes held an ancient kindness. "Why do you sit here, burdened by fear?" the fox asked. Karim wiped a tear and explained how the wind had stolen his dreams. The fox nodded wisely. "Dreams are like seeds, child. They may scatter, but they can take root wherever they fall. All you must do is plant them again, with courage and patience." Amina imagines the fox gently nudging Karim, guiding him beneath a lonely acacia tree. There, he carefully pressed each crumpled drawing into the sand, covering them lightly as if planting seeds in the earth. She can almost feel the warmth of the sand beneath her palms. Night after night, Mama Zara murmurs. Karim returned to the acacia tree. He watered the earth with its own dew, whispered words of hope, and shared stories of his boldest dreams. As the days passed, tiny shoots emerged, sprouting silver leaves that glowed under the moonlight. Soon, a sapling grew taller than Karim himself, its branches stretching high into the sky. Amina's eyes widen. She leans closer, drawn into the magic. The image of a glowing tree reaching toward the stars fills her with wonder. One moonlit night, Mama Zara says, Karim climbed the shining tree. With each branch he grasped, He felt a new strength grow within him. Higher and higher he climbed, until at last he stood among the leaves, so close to the sky he could almost touch the stars. The lantern flickers as Mama Zara pauses, letting the moment shimmer. In that instant, Kareem realized something powerful. He had always held the power to climb, within his own heart and mind. The tree was his courage made visible. He reached out, and though his fingers brushed only cool night air, he felt the triumph of his spirit soar. With a joyful laugh, he whispered, "I can do this." And from that night on, he never doubted his dream again. Amina smiles, imagining herself climbing that silver tree. She feels a warmth bloom in her chest, a spark of bravery ready to ignite. Mama Zara strokes Amina's hair and continues in a voice as soft as a lullaby. "My dear, like Kareem, you possess a tree within your heart. Sometimes storms may scatter your dreams. Other times, doubt may weigh you down. But remember this, every time you rise and plant your dreams again, you grow stronger." Each small step, each gentle word of kindness to yourself is like water for that inner tree. Outside, a gentle breeze rustles the jasmine vines climbing the courtyard wall. The soft tinkling of a distant fountain draws Amina's eyelids heavier. In the years that followed, Mama Zara adds, Kareem became an astronomer. He traveled beyond Morocco to distant lands, studied the movements of planets, and shared his stories with children around the world. Wherever he went, he carried the memory of the glowing tree and the lesson that courage and persistence can make the impossible possible. Amina drifts between wakefulness and sleep, the story weaving a tapestry of hope in her mind. She pictures herself years from now, standing beneath a sky of endless possibility, ready to share her own tales of triumph. Mama Zara kisses her forehead. "Sleep now, my little star. Let your dreams carry you to places as far and as wondrous as the desert sky. And remember, you are braver than you know, stronger than you seem, and loved beyond measure." Amina's breaths deepen. The city's soft night hum, distant calls of night guards, the hush of streets settling into rest, becomes a gentle symphony. Her eyelids flutter shut as the last of her grandmother's words soar into her dreams. In the heart of Kenya, in a village nestled between rolling hills and whispering grasslands, lived a boy named Jomo. He was 11, with a heart as wide as the savannah and a mind full of questions. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Jomo stood at the edge of the plains, watching the golden light fade into night. He dreamed of flying, of touching clouds, and of discovering new worlds beyond the horizon. But the villagers laughed at his dreams. "No one from our village has ever flown," they warned. "It's dangerous to chase what cannot be caught." Jomo felt his spirit sag. He questioned whether a boy from a small Kenyan village could ever soar above the earth. One night, as Jomo lay beneath a canopy of stars, a gentle wind stirred the acacia leaves overhead. A soft, musical voice spoke, "Why do you doubt, young one?" Jomo sat up in surprise. Before him stood a majestic hawk, its feathers shimmering with starlight. I want to fly," Jomo said quietly, "but I am only a boy." The hawk landed on a nearby branch. "You are more than what you see," it replied. "Your dreams carry the strength of your heart. If you wish to fly, you must first believe that you can." With that, The hawk taught Jomo to build a simple glider from bamboo and animal hides. Though his hands were small, his determination was vast. Day after day, Jomo worked, testing and adjusting, listening to the whispers of the wind and the guidance of the hawk. Finally, the day came when the glider stood ready atop a gentle hill. Jomo's heart pounded as he climbed the slope. With the hawk circling overhead, he ran forward, the glider's wings catching the breeze. For a moment, time stood still, his feet left the earth, and he soared above the golden fields. The world spread out like a patchwork quilt below him. Tears of joy streamed down his face as he realized what his heart already knew, that dreams are not limited by origin or age, but only by the courage to chase them. Far away, on a quiet island in the Pacific Ocean, lived a young girl named Leilani. She was 8 years old, with sun-kissed hair and a laughter that rippled like the waves. Leilani loved the ocean more than anything. Each morning, she raced to the shore to greet the dolphins and comb the sands for seashells. She dreamed of becoming a great explorer, charting maps of unseen islands and diving into the deepest oceans. Yet, Leilani feared the dark water. Shadows beneath the surface kept her ashore. "The ocean is too vast," she would say. "I might get lost." One twilight evening, the ocean spoke to her in a gentle lullaby. "Child, do not fear," it murmured. "Within you lies the heart of a voyager." A friendly sea turtle emerged, carrying a shell etched with ancient symbols. "Trust yourself," the turtle advised. "Let the sea guide your heart." With trembling courage, Leilani climbed upon the turtle's broad back. Together, they dove beneath the surface, where schools of rainbow fish twirled and hidden gardens of coral glowed with soft light. Leilani's fear melted as she explored secret caves and danced among swaying anemones. She discovered that when she embraced what she loved most, she found an inner strength that banished every doubt. Now, dear listener, it is time for you to drift into dreams of your own. Imagine yourself soaring above distant dunes like Kareem. Picture the Kenyan winds lifting you high like Jomo's glider. Feel the ocean's gentle embrace guiding you like Leilani's turtle. In every corner of the world, from the deserts of Morocco to the savannas of Kenya and the coral reefs of the Pacific, children just like you have faced their fears, planted their dreams, and discovered the boundless courage within. As you lie here, let your inner tree take root. Plant the seeds of your biggest dreams, whether you wish to paint, sing, explore, invent, or simply be kind. Water them with belief, nurture them with persistence, and watch as they grow tall and strong. When doubts arise, remember the fox, the hawk, and the turtle who showed our heroes the way. Remember that within you lies a story waiting to unfold, a journey waiting to begin. Breathe deeply. Feel the steady rhythm of your heart reminding you of your power. You are not defined by where you come from or how old you are, but by the courage you carry in your spirit. Rest now, dear one. Let your dreams carry you across continents and seas to places where anything is possible. And when you awaken, bring a piece of that magic back with you into the daylight, because the world needs your story, your light, and your boundless imagination. Sleep well, and may your dreams be filled with starlit adventures, soaring flights, and ocean-deep discoveries. Good night. Under the gentle glow of the moon, a soft hush fell over the room as you drifted deeper into the world of dreams. But our journey is not yet complete. There are still tales waiting to whisper their lessons into your heart. In the misty mountains of Japan, nestled among bamboo groves and cherry blossoms, lived a girl named May. She was 10 years old and loved painting. Each day, she would set up her easel beside a koi pond, letting the reflections of red and gold fish dance onto her canvas. Yet whenever she finished a painting, she flicked her brush nervously, worried that her colors weren't bright enough, her lines not steady enough. What if someone thinks my art is silly? She wondered. One dawn, as pink light spilled across the garden, a weeping willow beside the pond began to hum a gentle tune. Startled, May watched its slender branches sway and heard a voice like wind through leaves. Child, your heart sings in colors, do not silence it. A white crane, feathers gleaming like snow, alighted on the willow's lowest branch. True art, the crane told her softly, is not perfect lines or borrowed styles, but the song of your soul made visible. Emboldened, May dipped her brush into her palette and painted not what she thought was perfect, but what she felt, the warmth of sunrise, the laughter of children, the serene ripple of water. At first, her strokes were hesitant, but with each passing moment they grew bolder. When she stepped back, May saw her soul glowing on the canvas. She realized that sharing her view of beauty was its own form of courage, and that by painting her truth, she brought more light into the world. Far to the north, in the snowy forests of Finland, a boy named Emil dreamed of playing the violin. At 12 years old, Emil's small cabin was filled with the tinkling notes of his instrument every evening, but he feared making mistakes in front of others. In the village's annual winter festival, he had promised to perform, yet dread filled his chest as the day approached. I'm not good enough, he told the frozen pines. On the eve of the festival, as the northern lights danced overhead, a silent fox with amber eyes padded through the snow and sat by Emil's doorstep. It spoke with a voice as cold and clear as starlight. Music is like the sky's own breath, ever changing, ever alive. Mistakes are but stumbles on the path of discovery. With that, the fox curled around his boots and vanished into the swirling snow. The next day, as snowflakes drifted down, Emil stepped onto the open stage. The hush of the crowd felt like a sharp wind, but he closed his eyes and remembered the fox's words. He lifted his bow, and in that moment, the first note soared into the frosty air. It wavered once, twice, but then found its voice, growing rich and warm despite the chill. Each imperfection added character, each pause a heartbeat. By the final chord, tears glistened on the faces of his listeners. Emil bowed deeply, his heart alight. He had discovered that bravery lies not in flawless performance, but in allowing your true voice to be heard. On the other side of the globe, among the vibrant rainforests of Brazil, lived a girl named Sophia who was 9. Sophia loved running through the dappled light of the canopy, across the winding trails by the river. She dreamed of racing in the great rainforest marathon, but the other children teased her. You're too small, they jeered. Why would you ever win against bigger, stronger runners? One day, while training along a narrow path, Sophia encountered a bright macaw perched on a low branch. Its brilliant red and blue feathers shone in the sunlight. Why do you run with such determination? The macaw squawked, cocking its head. Sophia told the bird of her dream and the laughter she faced. The macaw flapped its wings and replied, "Strength comes in many forms. Your spirit, like your feet, knows the way forward, even when the world says otherwise." On the morning of the marathon, the trail was crowded with competitors twice her size, their footsteps thundering like distant drums. Heart pounding, Sophia positioned herself at the starting line. When the signal sounded, she surged ahead, not trying to match their speed, but trusting her own steady rhythm. Mile after mile, she focused on each breath, each footfall, letting the forest's pulse guide her. As she neared the finish, she found herself neck and neck with the tallest runner of all. Summoning her inner strength, she pressed forward, crossing the line with a triumphant cheer. In that moment, beneath the emerald canopy, she understood greatness is not measured in height or muscle, but in the courage to keep running long after others have faltered. And now, as your eyelids grow heavy and the world of waking slips away, picture all these brave children: Kareem, Jomo, Leilani, May, Emil, and Sophia, standing under the same vast sky. They come from distant lands: Morocco, Kenya, the Pacific Islands, Japan, Finland, and Brazil. But their hearts speak the same language of courage, persistence, and belief. Your own story is waiting beyond the horizon of sleep. Perhaps tomorrow you will paint with the soul of May, hum a melody like Emil, run with the spirit of Sophia, or climb a glimmering tree like Kareem. Maybe you will sail oceans like Leilani, or soar on winds like Jomo. Each dawn brings a new canvas for your dreams. Breathe deeply now. Feel the warmth of these tales wrap around you like a cozy quilt. Let your heart embrace the lesson they share, that you are never too small, too young, or too different to chase what stirs your soul. Plant your dreams, water them with courage, and tend them with patience. When doubts whisper that you cannot, listen instead to the fox, the hawk, the turtle, the crane, the fox again, and the macaw. They all remind us that belief is the first step toward flying, painting, running, or singing your own song. Sleep, dear one, under the watchful stars of every land. Dream of wondrous adventures and wake ready to write the next chapter of your amazing story. Good night, and may your dreams carry you to the very edge of possibility.